Bendy friends, good morning. Oh, I'm not sure. I think we're live.
We are. Look at that little square.
Good morning. We'll just wait for a couple of people to get in the room and make sure that our audio and our visual are working correctly. Now we're live. Good morning, my Bendy friends. We are... Lola is playing with her toy. She's in pre-yoga class playtime. We're just waiting for people to come in. If you're here, let us know that our audio is working, our video is working. We'd be nowhere without you guys. It's Halloweeny, my favorite day of the year. My favorite holiday of the year. Say that to be true. Sharing a video to more groups. Consider sharing a video to the top. Cool. Jay Russell's here. Boo! Hey, how are you? I can see and hear you. We are getting better at this each and every week. It's amazing. You see me freaking out before class. I'm like, this doesn't work. So very cool, very cool. So we'll be starting in about 2 minutes. Our charity today is the Pet Project for Pets. It's a local charity here in Wilton Manors that helps people pay for pet care for their animals, helping them get food or vet visits vet visits for the pet to make sure they stay healthy. So sometimes in these times of pandemic, there's a lot of people that lost their jobs and they have to choose between taking care of themselves or taking care of their pet. I think that's a horrible choice to have to make. So we made today's charity the Pet Project for Pets. If you have the ability to make a small donation, that would be really appreciated. Lola is the ambassador. They don't know it yet.
But she is.
But she is. She knows it, and that's all that matters. So we're going to get started just in about a minute. Looks like we got a couple people here, and so again, today's charity is the Pet Project. We're raising funds for people to help care for their animals in this time. If you lost a job and you have to decide between feeding a pet or feeding yourself, that's a horrible choice to make. So we're going to try and do something about that. We're going to try and give them a little bit of money this week and see what they can do with it. So today we're going to do a gentle exploration of spine mobility. Since it's Halloween and you see skeletons all the time, we're going to do a little exploration of spine mobility. Everything should be gentle. Nothing should hurt. If you feel pain, then just back up, move less, modify your pose as opposed to eliminate it. So we'll start in an easy seated position. Just bringing awareness to your spine. As I said, spine mobility should be at ease and tall. If you feel like your spine is rounded, or if you have a great effort in order to hold it up straight, slide a block underneath your hips, slide a pillow underneath of your hips to raise your hips up off the ground. That just takes some ease and puts it in your spine, and that's what we're looking for. Throughout today's entire practice of spine mobility, we want to be at ease in our spine. So take a deep inhale through your nose to the bottom of your lungs and lengthen your spine. Bring your awareness to it. Breathe. Starting with your cervical spine, the spine bones that are in your neck. As you exhale, gently let your chin drop to your chest. Feel that spine, feel the muscles. No struggles, no strains, no pinching, no pains. With your next exhale, let your right ear come to your right shoulder. Doing lateral flexion of your cervical spine. Not a motion we make often, so be gentle with it. If you'd like, you can gently push your left elbow down towards the floor. That helps to anchor the pose. With your next exhale, let your head drop back, your chin points up to the ceiling. This is one you want to be really cautious with. If it feels like tingling or numbness or nausea or headache while you have your head back, it means you're pinching the blood supply to your brain, and that's generally frowned upon. So if you feel something like that, just drop your chin down to a more neutral position. Slowly letting your left ear drop to your left shoulder, pushing your right elbow down if you'd like. Feeling the stretch, feeling the motion in the cervical spine. And then gently let your chin drop down to your chest. With an inhale, we'll raise your head up, we'll raise your arms up to the ceiling, shoulder blades down and away from your ears. So we're going to try and open up your thoracic spine, the space between your neck and your low back, interlacing your fingers behind your head. Take a deep inhale, push your elbows back and lift your chest up. As you exhale, round forward. Try to keep your lumbar spine straight, but put your elbows together and bring them down. Inhale, take it up, spread those chest bones open, push your elbows to the back. Exhale, round it down. Inhale, take it up. Follow your breath. Exhale, bring it forward. One more time through the full series, take it up, pushing your elbows as far back as you comfortably can, and as you exhale, bring it forward. We're going to inhale it up to the ceiling, your arms floating up. So we did the cervical spine, we did the thoracic spine. We're going to go into the high lumbars. So gently take your hands back and behind your head. Gently, with an exhale, drop your right elbow down towards the floor, your left elbow up towards the ceiling. So we're still getting a little bit of the thoracics and just a different range of motion, but we're working on the high lumbar vertebrae. Take a deep inhale. As you exhale, take your left elbow over to the left, your right elbow up towards the ceiling. And breathe. Always remember, try to move as you exhale. A deep inhale here. Exhale, taking your right elbow to the floor, your left elbow towards the sky. Taking it back to the left. Gentle movements. Remember, no pain, no pinching. One more time with an exhale, taking your right elbow to the right. One more time, taking your left elbow to the left. Then bringing your spine straight and shooting your arms back up to the ceiling, lengthening your spine so you're reaching up through your fingertips all the way to the spot where your body touches the floor. You're creating space here for our next opening. Taking your hands back and behind your head, interlacing your fingers. Take a deep inhale. Try to keep your belly button forward and just turn your shoulders to the right. Try to keep your belly button pointing forward to the front of the room. Take a deep inhale. With an exhale all the way to the left, try to keep your belly button facing forward. Breathe. A deep inhale here. As you exhale, take it all the way to the right. With an exhale, take it to the left. One more time, follow your breath to the right. Try to keep that torso straight ahead of you, just moving the shoulders and the upper thoracics. One more time to the left. Brilliant. Bring it back to the center. Bringing your arms up to the ceiling, lengthening your spine, creating space. With an exhale, folding forward, bringing your forehead towards the floor. A gentle forward flexion of your lumbar spine. This is the lower lumbar, down across the belt area and just above it. And breathe. Breathe so that your belly fills with air, and as you exhale, see if you can melt a little bit. Take a deep inhale here. With an exhale, walk your hands and your chest over to the right. Push down into your left hip gently to keep it from lifting. You're doing a little lumbar mobility, a little bit of thoracic mobility. Breathe into that left rib cage and feel it expand. A deep inhale here. With the exhale, you gently move back to the center. Deep inhale here. Exhale, moving over towards the left. Pushing gently down into your right hip so that your right hip doesn't lift from the floor. You're creating an anchor so that as you breathe into that right rib cage, it expands all along the right side. Take a deep inhale here. As you exhale, gently take it back to the center. Slowly bringing your hands to your knees, use your arms and your hands to push you back up. Try not to use the muscles around your spine. You're doing great. I'm just going to straighten this leg out for a second. Groovy. Taking your deep inhale, your arms rising up towards the ceiling, shoulder blades coming down your back. Take your right hand to the floor, take your left arm up and over, and look up at your left arm if it doesn't bother your neck. Try to make sure your chest is facing forward, not down towards the floor. Push down into the left hip and breathe into that left rib cage. So when you do this side bending, you're doing an opening of the facet joints. The facet joints is where one vertebrae sits on top of another vertebrae, and often they can get stuck. One more deep inhale, really reach. With an exhale, take it back to the ceiling. Take a deep inhale here. Exhale, your left hand comes to the floor, your right hand reaches up and over, looking up to your right arm if it doesn't bother your neck, pushing down into your right sit bone. Chest facing forward, not to the floor. If you're turning your neck, you're adding in rotation to the cervical spine, which is great. Breathe. Take a deep inhale here. Reach. With an exhale, bring it back and forward. Take a deep inhale. We're going to do another forward flexion, bringing it forward. Breathe. Taking a deep inhale here. With an exhale, bring your chest over to your right knee. Now you have a choice here. You can either stay right here or slide your left hand back so it's right next to your right knee. And with an inhale, raise your right arm up to the ceiling, rotating your chest even deeper. So you can keep that right arm up, or you can bring it behind your back, tucking it into the crease between your left thigh and the left side of your belly. This is a deeper rotation with forward flexion. Those two things happen together. So it's good to do together, but not if it feels painful. If it feels like a struggle or strain, allow yourself to back out of it. One more deep inhale here. One more slow exhale. And then slowly release that arm from behind you. Bring your chest back down to just drape over your right thigh. Take a deep breath into your belly. As you exhale, slowly bring yourself back to the front. Breathe deeply into the bottom of your lungs, and with an exhale, move yourself over so that you're draped over your left thigh. Make sure your right hip hasn't come up off the ground. Stay right here or slide your right hand back right next to your left knee. Take a deep inhale. With an exhale, take your left arm up to the ceiling. You can stay right here or bind the pose by taking your left arm behind you, tucking it into the crease of your right thigh and the right side of your belly. Lift and breathe. No struggles, no strains. Breathe. One more deep inhale here. One more slow exhale. And then if you bound the pose, release it, bringing your left arm out, turning your chest to face that left leg and just folding over it once again. And breathe. Take a deep inhale here. With an exhale, slowly bring your chest back to the front. Slowly take your hands to your knees and use your arms to press you back up into a tall, seated position. Lengthening your spine, becoming tall. We're going to straighten your right leg out in front of you. We're going to bring your left knee up so that both of your arms wrap around that left knee, drawing it into your chest. Breathe. Breathe deeply into your belly. Your right leg is active, the toes pulled back, the heel reaching to the front of the room. Take deep inhales, lengthen your spine. Feel that spine. Feel the ease of it. We're going to remove your left arm. We're going to take your right arm just around that knee and then inhale that left arm up to the ceiling. As you exhale, we'll bring that left arm to the floor, the hand to the floor behind you, pushing down to help lengthen your spine, turning your chest towards the left. Closing your eyes here, take a deep inhale, lengthen your spine. With an exhale, see if you can rotate just a little further. No struggles and no strains. Breathe. Take another deep inhale here, lengthen your spine. With an exhale, see if you can go a little further. And then slowly bring your chest back to the front. We're going to do the exact same thing, except we're going to give you another choice. Take your left foot to the outside of your right knee. So this just is going to involve your hip a little deeper. We're trying to do things slowly and work our way up to our 15 sun salutations that we're doing today. Thank you, Jay Russell, for that suggestion. You can all thank Jay. 15 sun salutations. We're going to take your right arm and wrap it around that knee. Inhale the left arm up again, lengthening. As you exhale, bringing your hand to the floor, pushing down. So just a little bit deeper opening in the hip. And breathe. No struggles and no strains. Close your eyes, and with your next breath, see if you can fill your belly with air. Feel it pressing against that left thigh, lengthening your spine like an accordion, reaching up towards the sky, and with an exhale, rotate a little further. Brilliant. And then slowly bring yourself forward. Slowly release that left knee down to the floor. So your left ankle is rested right above your right knee, or if that causes you problems, put it below your right knee. That's perfectly fine. We're going to do a little strengthening move for your lumbar spine. So most everything we do in this world is in flexion. We bring everything forward. We're going to do a little extension. So bringing your hands to the floor. This is a little bit of a progressed move, so if it feels like it's too much for you, just skip it. Bend your right knee and then lift your hips from the floor into a figure 4 tabletop. So squeezing your shoulder blades together, squeezing your gluteal muscles and lifting. We're using the extensor muscles, the ones that surround your spine. One more hold, and then slowly lower your hips to the ground. Slowly straighten that leg out. We're going to keep that left ankle just above the right. We're going to inhale about the right knee. Inhale your arms up to the sky, and as you exhale, fold forward. Forward flexion of the spine. Breathe. Deep inhales, slow exhales. One more deep inhale here. One more slow exhale. And then slowly bring yourself back up. Slowly bring that left foot to the floor on the outside of your right knee. Now you have choices here. You can either take both arms and wrap it around, bringing your chin down to your chest, or you can bend your right knee underneath of you. So find the expression of each and every pose that you can hold with ease. You can stay right here, again, pulling your knee into your chest and dropping your chin down, or stack your knees one on top of the other. Find an expression of this pose that you can hold with ease. Rounding forward is an option, but it flexes your cervical spine, it rounds the thoracic spine, and it draws up through the lumbar spine. Take a deep inhale where you are, or as you exhale, fold forward. Breathe. No struggles, no strains. Breathe in through your nose and feel the expansion of just one breath. And then the next one. And the next. If you're rounded forward, slowly bring yourself up. We're going to uncross your legs and bring the palms of your feet together for a cobbler's pose. So remember, if your spine doesn't feel healthy or at ease, you have choices here. Either slide your feet further away from you, opening up the diamond shape that you're making there, or sit up on a block. Either way is perfectly fine. The idea is to have a spine at ease. So lengthening your spine, becoming tall. As you exhale, turn your chest to face your right knee, sorry. So you can either stay right there, or you can take your left hand to that right knee and your right hand behind you, push down into the floor to help you lengthen. In this cobbler's pose, your sacrum, the very last bone at the bottom of your spine, is locked down. So the rotation isolates to L5 and S1. Those are the very last two vertebrae. They don't get a whole lot of rotation in them in daily life. They get forward flexion and sometimes extension. But moving all of your vertebrae through all of their ranges of motion is really good, not just for the bones and to manage arthritis, but to hydrate the discs. Inhale. As you exhale, bring yourself back to the front. The discs between your vertebrae are like shock absorbers. They're fluid filled. And they're what's called a hydrostatic system. That means the fluid flows into them and out of them. And that can be helped through rotations, through forward bending, through bouncing. Get yourself a bouncy ball, it's awesome. Take a deep inhale. With an exhale, you're turning towards your left, breathing. You can either stay there or take your left hand behind you and your right hand over to your left knee and use them to help push down on the floor to lengthen your spine. So these rotations are like wringing out a sponge. You twist it and all the fluid comes out. When you bring it back to the center, your body draws more fluid into those discs, keeping them healthy and viable. It is also important to drink a lot of water. You should be drinking half of your body weight. Let me start again. Half of your body weight in ounces in water. So if you weigh 100 pounds, you should be drinking 50 ounces of water every day. One more deep inhale here. One more slow exhale. And then gently bring yourself back towards the front. Straightening out your left leg, bending up your right knee so that your right foot is on the inside of your left knee to start, both arms wrapped around it. Inhale, lengthening. Exhale, you can stay right there, or you can drop your chin down towards your chest. If you're dropping your chin down towards your chest, just take a moment to feel that. And breathe. Feel the pull on your whole spine as your chin drops down. Leaving your left arm just wrapped around that right knee. Inhale your right arm to the ceiling and down to the floor behind you. Your left leg is engaged, the toes pulled back. What that's doing is locking in your SI joint. So you have an SI joint on either side of your sacrum, and this position locks that in so that you get rotation to one side only. One more deep inhale here. One more slow exhale, bringing yourself back to the front, taking your foot and bringing it to the inside of your left leg. Wrapping your left elbow around, pulling it in, inhaling your right arm up to the ceiling, exhaling it down. Pushing down into the floor, the toes pulled back, the heels reaching gently forward. Breathe. Feel the lengthening of your spine as you inhale to create space, as you exhale, rounding to the right. Slowly bringing your chest back to the front. Staying right here with both arms just wrapped around the knee or bending your left knee underneath of you. So this is a progression. It's right there. The final pose is the knees stacked, one on top of the other. Remember, if it feels like struggle or strain or that your spine is not at ease, sit up on a block, sit up on a pillow. It really does help. Take deep inhales here. As you exhale, you can either just drop your chin down towards your knees or fold forward. Close your eyes for a moment and breathe. Feel your belly expand. One more deep inhale here. One slow exhale. Then slowly bring yourself up. Straightening your left leg out. I skipped this part. We didn't forget it. We just replaced it into a different spot. We'll start with a deep inhale, lengthening your arms, and exhale, folding forward. Closing your eyes, feeling that gentle stretch. That right SI joint is closed with that bent knee. The left one is open, so you may feel a little bit more freedom of motion on the left side in your back. Take a deep inhale here, and with an exhale, see if you can fold just a little further forward. And breathe. Slowly unwinding, bringing yourself back up. This is the one that's optional, bending the left knee, right ankle rested just above it, taking it up in to a figure four tabletop, shoulder blades gently pulled together, squeezing your gluteal muscles together. Breathe. Slowly lowering to the floor. Slowly straightening both legs out. Inhaling your arms to the ceiling. Exhaling them back. Folding forward, big toes touching, kneecaps pointing up towards the ceiling. The backs of your knees gently pushing down to the floor. One more deep inhale. Lengthen your spine. Imagine yourself coming out through the top of your head. Imagine falling further forward with your exhale. Push down into the back of your knees. Get them nice and down to the floor. And then slowly unfolding. Brilliant. We're going to slowly bring your knees up, cross at the ankles. So we're going to get ready to do a couple sun salutations. Jay has paid extra this week, so we have to do 15 of them. Again, thank you, Jay, for sponsoring the 15 sun salutations. So we're going to try and stand gracefully from the floor. We probably just lost about 10 viewers. 15, no way. So in sun salutation, you're really moving your spine. We're going to do a couple of modifications with a few little twists, and then we're going to end up on the floor and do spinal extension. That's a motion we don't make very much. Lola is getting into position.
Excuse me.
She doesn't like the position. So standing with your feet hip width apart, your toes pointing straight ahead of you. Spread your toes apart, lift them from the floor for a moment, and then just plant them down one at a time. As you inhale, look up, let your arms float up and have a small arch backwards. As you exhale, swan dive forward. If you have a bad back, just bend your knees until your fingers touch the floor and then straighten your legs out. As you inhale, lift your shoulders, lift your head to a flat back. You can have your hands rested right on your thighs if you want. As you exhale, fold forward. As you inhale, step back with your right foot, step back with your left foot into a plank. Now here you can be down on elbows, you can be down on your knees, whatever you'd like, but try to turn the creases of your elbows forward to protect your shoulders. As you exhale, slowly come to the floor in chaturanga. As you inhale, a small back bend. That's the extension we talked about before. You can have the tops of your feet flat with your knees on the floor, or you can lift your knees, look up to the sky, and then take it back down to chaturanga, back to down dog. And just breathe here for a moment. Work on pushing the backs of your knees to the back of the room. Work on letting your neck relax. Work on gently pushing your chest a little closer towards your thighs, but not at the expense of bending those knees. So try to keep your legs straight wherever you are. Take a deep inhale, let your right leg rise up towards the sky. As you exhale, bring your right foot between your hands and then drop down to your left knee, flattening out the top of your left foot, slowly bringing yourself up. So if this bothers your knee, fold your mat and just put a little extra cushion underneath your knee, your hands to heart center. Take a deep inhale, and as you exhale, bring your left elbow to the outside of your right knee. Push into your hands. Spinal rotation from the thoracics through the lumbar and the cervical. Stay right here, or curl the toes of your left foot under and lift your left knee. You don't have to do that. You're still getting the benefit of the rotation. It's a beautiful thing. Slowly lower that knee if you've raised it. Slowly bring yourself back to face the front. Bending forward, bringing your hands to frame your right foot. Curl the toes of your left foot under and then push back into down dog. Breathe. Shaking your head yes and no, letting your head just dangle. If I don't use that word dangle every day, I just don't know what I would do. Taking your left leg up to the ceiling with an inhale. With an exhale, bringing it to the floor between your hands and then dropping your right knee. Flatten out the top of your right foot and then bring yourself up. Folding that mat underneath of that knee if it causes pain. Hands to heart center. Right elbow to the outside of the left knee, gently pushing into your hands to help you rotate your chest towards the wall in front of you, not towards the floor. Stay here or curl the toes of your right foot under and lift your right knee from the floor. This just gives you a little extra strengthening. It doesn't add to the rotation. Find the expression of the pose that you can hold with ease. Dropping that right knee to the floor, slowly bringing your chest back to the front. Bending forward to frame your left foot with both hands, curl the toes of your right foot under and bring it back to down dog. And breathe. Looking forward to your hands, either jump or step your feet to meet your hands. Straightening your legs for a forward fold. Slowly rounding up one vertebra at a time. Leave your chest resting on your chin. Leave your chin resting on your chest until your spine is straight. And then let your arms float up to the ceiling. Look up and arch back. Exhale, rounding forward, bending your knees if you need. Fingertips touch the floor and then straighten the legs. Inhale, lift the head and shoulders to a flat back. Exhale, fall forward. Inhale, step or jump back into plank. Creases of your elbows forward. You can be on your knees for this. Exhale, lower down to the floor. Try to keep your elbows right up against your rib cage. Inhale to up dog. Exhale, back down to the floor and back. to down dog. And breathe. Breathe deep into your belly. As you exhale, push your chest back towards your thighs. Squeeze your quadricep muscles and try to get those legs straight. And then slowly bring yourself forward to plank, either on straight legs or bent. Slowly take it to chaturanga all the way to the floor. Turn your head in one direction or the other, lying down flat to the floor. Just turning your head to the right or to the left, whatever feels comfortable for you. A little bit more cervical rotation. Breathe. And then turn your head to the left or the right, the opposite side, wherever you were, as long as it's comfortable. Just getting some rotation in the opposite direction. And then bring your head back to the center. Push yourself up onto your elbows for Sphinx pose. So in Sphinx pose, your fingertips are spread wide apart. They're creating a suction into the floor. And you want to pretend as if you were pulling yourself forward just by pulling back through those hands. So let everything else relax. You should feel your low back kind of open a little bit. Just pulling forward as if you were dragging across the floor with your hands. Breathe. Look up to the ceiling. Extension of the thoracic spine, so extension of the lumbar spine and the cervical spine. Stay right here or progress the pose by straightening your arms. I'm having a problem with the English language today. Shoulder blades down and away from your ears, and breathe. Drop it back down to the elbows. Stay right here. Or straighten your right arm out, reaching for the room in front of you. Take your right arm up to the ceiling and rotate your chest to face the front, bringing your hand to your hip. Just a little bit of rotation with extension. We're doing all the motions of the spine today. Try to get that right hip down to the floor. I had mine rested way up high. And then just bring your right arm forward, back to Sphinx pose. A gentle pull back through your hands to create the space. Stay here, take your left arm forward, reaching in front, take it up to the ceiling and then to your hip, rotating your chest towards the left, and breathe. Slowly taking that left arm back. Slowly lowering your chest to the ground, turn your head in one direction or the other. Turn your head in the opposite direction and breathe. Turn your head to the front, curl the toes under, bring your hands to your sides so that your thumbs are pointing right into your armpits. Your elbows are pointing right up to the sky. Push up into a plank and then back into down dog. Breathe. Look forward to your hands. Jump or step your feet to meet your hands. Straighten your legs for a forward fold. Slowly rounding up one vertebra at a time, leaving your chin on your chest till your spine is straight. Leave your arms down by your sides. We're just going to do a little bit of standing flexion and motion. Every time you do it in a different way, you add another dimension. You close something, you open something. So we're going to take your arms up to the ceiling. We're going to interlace your fingers and reach to the sky. Really reach up, but don't let your biceps pinch your ears. So you're reaching your fingertips up to the ceiling. See if you can raise your heels up off the ground. And breathe. Slowly lower your heels to the ground. Take your right hand and hold on to your left wrist, and as you exhale, bend to the right. So you're using that right hand to pull you just a little bit further. Look up to your left arm if it doesn't bother your neck, and breathe. Deep inhales, slow exhales. Take a deep inhale here. As you exhale, slowly bring yourself back up towards the ceiling, lifting the heels from the ground. Slowly lowering the heels to the ground, taking your left hand, holding onto your right wrist. With an exhale, bending towards your left, looking up at your right arm. Breathe. Take it back up towards the ceiling, lifting your heels from the ground. Slowly lowering your heels to the ground, bringing your arms down to chest height. So we're going down to the floor. You can get there whatever way you like. But what I'd like is to slowly lower, keeping your heels flat, keeping your butt reaching behind you until your heels and your butt meet. Then bring your hands to the floor. Shoot your legs out in front of you. And then lower to the floor. Yay! We're just going to do a little bit of gentle stuff on the floor, a couple of little twists, and then the fish pose. The fish pose I do modified. I do not like it the way people touch it. Do it, I think it's bad for your neck, but I'm looking at it from a perspective of a physical therapist. So what we're going to do is slowly come down to your back. We're going to leave your knees bent for just a moment. So we're going to get into some deep lumbar rotation. So start by taking your arms out to the side like the letter T and gently just letting both knees drop over to the right side, turning your head to the left. So this is just priming the spine for a deeper rotation. If you turn your head to the left, you'll be twisting the entire spine, a nice, gentle rotation. Take a deep breath into your belly, and as you exhale, your belly comes to your spine, your knees start to rise up towards the ceiling, and then over towards the left, turning your head to the right. Breathe. We're going to go one more time to each side. We're moving with an exhale. Take a deep inhale to your belly. With an exhale, your belly comes to your spine, your knees start to rise from the floor and take them all the way over to the right. This is a really good move to do before you go to bed at night, to loosen and lubricate and hydrate your spine. Most of us, sit in a chair for 3 or 4 hours before we go to bed. We don't move our spine. Then we lie down and sleep for 6, 7, 8 hours, don't move our spine. As we get older, you start to feel the effects of that, the stiffness as you get out of bed in the morning. Take a deep inhale. As you exhale, lift your knees, pull your belly to your spine, take them all the way over to the left, turning your head to the right if it doesn't bother your neck. And breathe. Take a deep inhale here. As you exhale, we'll come to a flat back, lifting your knees from the floor, bringing your back flat, drawing both knees into your chest, letting your hands come to hold on top of each knee. So just gently drawing them in, allowing your shoulders to relax, allowing your jaw to relax. So we're going to take both knees in your right hand. We're going to take your left arm out to the side like half the letter T. Try to keep those knees pulled up really high towards your chest, and then with an exhale, take them over to the right so they find the floor. So we're going deeper into that lumbar stretch. Turning your head to the left starts to incorporate the thoracics and the cervical. Breathe. Take a deep inhale to your belly here. With an exhale, lift your knees from the floor back to the center, both hands holding on to the knees. With an exhale, remove your right arm out to the side like half of the letter T, and then slowly allow your knees to drop to the floor on the left, turning your head to the right. And breathe. Breathe into the depth of your lungs. Inhale deeply, exhale slowly, and melt. We're going to take a deep inhale here. As you exhale, bring both knees back up to the ceiling, hands holding on to the knees. We're going to go one more time to the right, and then we're going to add in a thoracic rotation. So our thoracics are the space between the low back and the neck, and they very rarely get rotated. So this is an excellent one to do if you feel stiffness in the shoulders or the neck. So we're going to roll all the way over to your right side. So lying on your side, both knees pulled up to about the level of your belt would be if you were wearing one. Your arms out in front at the level of your chest, palms stacked together. So by pulling your knees up higher, you're locking out the lumbar spine. There'll be no rotation there. As you inhale, take your left arm up to the ceiling. Follow it with your eyes if that doesn't bother your neck. And as you exhale, bring it to the floor behind you. Close your eyes for a moment and take a deep breath. We're going to do this 3 times. The first one, we're just going to hold for a couple of deep breaths. So that's our first one. Take a deep inhale. As you exhale, lift that left arm from the floor, taking it up to the ceiling and all the way over to meet the right. Follow your own breath. We're going to go for a second one, but we're not going to hold it in the back. So inhale, the left arm up to the ceiling. Exhale, empty your lungs so that when your fingertips touch the floor, you just reverse direction by inhaling. And then exhale that arm up to the ceiling and all the way over to meet the right. We're going to do that one more time. Inhale that left arm up to the ceiling. Exhale it to the floor behind you. Take a deep inhale here. With an exhale, lift your knees from the floor. Come to a flat back. So you're lying flat on your back. Your knees are up towards your chest. Let your hands come in to draw them in deeper. And then slowly roll over onto your left side, holding on to your knees so that you can keep them way up towards where a belt would be, or even closer if that works for you. Take your arms out in front of you so that your arms are stacked, your palms together. Inhale your right arm up to the ceiling. Exhale it to the floor behind you and hold. We're just giving that thoracic spine a moment to get used to this before we take it through 2 more. Breathe. Take a deep inhale here. As you exhale, that arm lifts up to the ceiling and then all the way back over to meet the left. That's 1. We have 2 more. We're not holding these, so filling your lungs as your arm rises up to the ceiling. Empty your lungs as it falls to the floor behind you. When the fingertips touch, take a deep inhale and then exhale that right arm up to the ceiling and all the way over to meet the left. 1 more time. Follow your own breath. Inhaling as the arm rises. Exhaling as it falls to the floor behind you. We're going to stay right there. Take a deep inhale. As you exhale, bring your knees up towards the ceiling. Your back is flat. Let your hands come to hold on to the knees, drawing them into your chest. Your shoulders relaxed, your jaw relaxed. And then slowly drop your feet to the floor. Slowly straighten your legs out. And then push yourself up onto your elbows. So you're on your elbows, your legs are straight. This is fine for your fish pose. You don't have to go further than this. This is a healthy extension of your spine. If you prefer, you can drop your head back. You can lift your chest up by pushing down into the elbows. If you'd like to do the full fish, you drop your head all the way back so that you're bearing weight through the top of your head. Lift your chest up. I don't recommend it. It's not very good to have your head in extension and bear weight through it. So we're going to hold this for 3 deep inhales and 3 slow exhales. If it bothers your neck, just don't drop your head back at all. Look forward. Find your expression of the pose you can hold with ease. 1 more deep inhale. 1 more slow exhale. And then slowly lower yourself back down to the floor and prepare for final relaxation. So in final relaxation, you're finding a space where you can release. See if you can let your arms lay by your side, the palms facing up, the backs of your hands lying on the floor. See if you can make sure that your chin is pointing down your body, not up towards the ceiling. If that means sliding a pillow or a block underneath of your head, make sure that your neck is relaxed. We did a lot of work on your spine. So now we're going to do a little bit of energetic work on your spine during Shavasana. So our bodies are made of energy. The universe is made of energy. If you break it all down, it's all energy. So whether you believe that you can manipulate energy and purposely move it or not, it doesn't matter. Energy doesn't care whether you believe in it, just like Santa Claus and the Great Pumpkin, which, by the way, is not on TV this year, sadly. So in any case, start by breathing. Imagine as you draw a breath in that you're drawing energy up through your sacrum, through your lumbar spine, your thoracic spine, and your cervical spine. The air exits through your nose. As you inhale, it draws in through the sacrum, across your lumbar, across your thoracic, across your cervical, and exhale out through your nose. So just taking 5 deep inhales, following your breath, and making that imaginary journey up through the spine. You can imagine a white light as an energetic marker, or you can just imagine that you can feel the breath coming up through your spine. So follow your breath for 5 cycles, using your mind's eye to envision the energy flowing. Each breath drawing a new energy up along the spine. Diffusing negative energy, diffusing pain, diffusing stiffness, bringing lightness, bringing healing to the spine. We're going to take 3 more breaths, but we're going to try and isolate that energy to each of the segments. So there are 5 lumbar vertebrae. As you take a deep inhale, imagine just 5 vertebrae, that energy rising up through those vertebrae. Imagine them glowing with the essence of that energy. As you take your next inhale, imagine yourself breathing up through the 12 thoracic vertebrae. It's a little bit longer of a journey, but see if you can imagine that breath ascending one at a time through each of your 12 thoracic vertebrae. And then with your next breath, imagine that you're energizing the 7 cervical vertebrae, ending at the base of your skull. And then see if you can just bring your awareness to the sensation of your spine. Just whatever you feel, without judgment, without labels. And then release your spine and let your mind come to stillness. Allowing your nervous system to incorporate everything that we've done in this practice, and we did a lot of things that your spine has probably not done in some time. Shavasana is a time of integration, allowing the central nervous system to integrate, to absorb that information, and to make systemic changes. Let your mind come to stillness. Any thought that enters, notice it, don't attach to it. Any distraction in your environment, notice it. Don't give it a story. We'll slowly start to bring your attention back to the entirety of your body by wiggling your fingers and wiggling your toes. Feel those joints as they move. Spread your fingers apart. Spread your toes apart. Feel the space between your fingers. Feel the space between your toes. And then let them relax. Take a deep inhale, let your shoulders slide up the floor towards your ears. Just contracting your upper trapezius muscles, elevating your rib cage. And as you exhale, slide your arms down the floor towards your feet. A gentle stretch of those same structures. And let your shoulders relax. Gently let your head begin to rock from side to side. Bringing awareness to that cervical spine that we spoke of earlier. Bringing awareness to the musculature that supports it. And then let your head come to rest wherever it finds itself comfortable. With your next inhale, fill your lungs to the bottom. Let your arms rise up towards the ceiling. With your next exhale, let your arms fall to the floor behind you. So as you inhale here, reach back with your fingertips, reach forward with the heels of your feet, and feel that stretch along your spine. As you exhale, draw your knees to your chest, let your arms float down to hold them. Gently into your chest with your shoulders relaxed and your jaw relaxed. You can gently rock from side to side, letting the floor bring awareness to that spine and the musculature that surrounds it. And then when you're ready, roll onto your right side, lying in a fetal position with your knees pulled up to your chest, your hands made into a pillow to support your head or a block or a pillow so that your neck is in a neutral position. And then when you're ready, push yourself up to an easy seated position. Take your time. Move slowly, move gently. Find a position where your spine is at ease. Once you've found that position of ease for your spine, perhaps with a block or a pillow underneath of your hips, let the backs of your hands come to rest on the knees. Close your eyes and breathing through the spine, lengthen it, reaching your spine like an accordion towards the sky. As you exhale, see if you can hold that tall and lengthened posture with ease. With your next inhale, your hands come together in prayer position to the center of your chest. Let your chin drop gently down. You guys have done a wonderful job once again. A happy, healthy spine on Halloween is what we're looking for. Namaste. Have a wonderful day. I want to thank you guys for always coming, always participating, for supporting our charity if that is within your means. Our charity today is the Pet Project. They're a local charity that helps people buy food and animal care at the vet if they can't afford it. And we're in some difficult times for some people. It's hard to ask people to make a choice between taking care of themselves or taking care of their pets. So if you have the ability to give them a little hand by making a donation to the Pet Project, there's a button right there. Remember, these classes you can share anytime you'd like. They're posted here on our Back to Health Facebook page. They're also posted on my new website, body-guru.com. And I also put a link in the description to my YouTube channel. If you go there and you subscribe to the YouTube, there's a little bell. If you press that bell, you'll get notified every time I upload new content. I put our yoga classes there, but I'm also putting videos about other ways to help yourself with TMJ pain, with tension headaches, with using some of the things we use in physical therapy, lasers and straps. So there's different videos there. Enjoy them all, share them all with whoever you'd like. I'm trying to get 1,000 subscribers so that I can have a dedicated YouTube channel, but I'm not in any rush. So check it out as knowledge. It's all free and it's a gift from me. So thank you, Chris. Thank you, Lola. Happy Halloween. Stay safe. Namaste.
Thank you, Bill.
Oh, you're welcome. It was my pleasure. I enjoy it each and every week. Let's see who was in the house. I hope somebody dressed up. We've had a video camera on all of you the whole time so we can see your costumes, and some of them, I'm going to say, were a little inappropriate.
I
Aw.
don't think that those were actually costumes.
Oh,
They didn't get the
my bad.
email.
Marcy was here. Happy Halloween. Becky, happy Halloween. Yvonne.
Yvonne.
She's just about Yola. Lola. Yola. Yeah, right.
Yola.
Kurt was here. Thanks, Becky. Who else was here? Jay Russell. Thank you. He feels bendy.
And Todd.
Where were the 15 sons? Oh, that's right. Sorry about that. Todd was in the house. Haven't seen Todd for a while. Welcome back. Kathy Williams. Joan. Nice. Elaine was here. Cool. We will see you guys next week. Have a great day. I don't know what that new